In the heart of the Sahara Desert lies something so vast, so perfectly shaped, it can be seen from space. A colossal spiral, 25 miles wide, etched into the Earth's surface like the fingerprint of a forgotten god. Scientists call it the Richat Structure, but to many, it's something far more extraordinary, the last remaining scar of a lost civilization. Some believe this is not a geological accident at all, but the final resting place of Atlantis. Mauritania, a land of endless dunes, blistering sun, and silence that stretches for hundreds of miles. Yet buried beneath that silence lies a perfect circle. To those who stumble upon it, it's mesmerizing. Massive rings of rock spiraling outward in flawless symmetry. For thousands of years, travelers and nomads crossed this desert, unaware they were walking across what could be the ruins of humanity's first great empire. Then, in the 1960s, astronauts orbiting Earth captured something astonishing. A vast circular structure glinting in the African desert. The world had no idea what it was, but its shape, its geometry, its eerie perfection sparked questions that haven't been answered to this day. 2,000 years earlier, the Greek philosopher Plato wrote of a mighty civilization that once ruled the world. Atlantis, a kingdom of breathtaking beauty, divine power, and unspeakable arrogance. He described it in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, a city built in 3 concentric rings of land and water, protected by towering walls and rich with temples of red, black, and white stone. Atlantis, he said, lay beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now call the Strait of Gibraltar, and met its end in a single day and night of destruction. For centuries, scholars dismissed it as myth. But when modern explorers looked at satellite images of the Sahara, Plato's words suddenly didn't seem so impossible. Compare Plato's account to the Eye of the Sahara, and the parallels are undeniable. 3 circular rings, land and water alternating like ripples frozen in stone. A mountain ridge to the north, plains stretching to the south. The dimensions? Nearly identical to the scale Plato described. Even the natural colors of the rock layers, red, black, and white, mirror the sacred stones of Atlantis's temples. If the philosopher's island once existed here, perhaps he wasn't describing a place beneath the ocean, but a place the ocean once touched. A kingdom that rose and fell with the tides of time. 12,000 years ago, the Sahara wasn't a desert. It was green, lush with rivers, lakes, and life. Fossils of fish, shells, and ancient coral can still be found across its sands. Satellite scans reveal the ghostly remains of rivers flowing straight toward the eye, as if Atlantis once sat at the center of a vast delta. Some researchers believe a cataclysmic flood or seismic shift may have struck the region, flooding, eroding, and eventually burying the city under sand. Plato said Atlantis sank beneath the sea, but what if it didn't sink? Geologists argue that the Richat structure was formed by natural erosion, the remnants of an ancient volcanic dome. Yet even they admit that no other formation on Earth matches its perfect symmetry. The circular rings, the elevation pattern, and the alignment of its outer walls don't fit normal erosion processes. Magnetic anomalies have been recorded in the region, powerful disturbances in the rock's magnetic field, suggesting something violent happened beneath the surface long ago. Some even theorize a meteor impact reshaped the area, while others whisper about ancient technology, a civilization powerful enough to manipulate the Earth itself. Within the rings of the eye, explorers have found traces of polished rock, marine sediments, and ancient fossils. Tools resembling early human craftsmanship have surfaced nearby, though no major excavation has ever been done. The terrain is remote, harsh, and politically restricted. But imagine what might lie beneath the sand. Walls, tunnels, chambers, relics waiting for someone brave enough to uncover them. The very idea challenges archaeology's timeline. If advanced people lived here 12,000 years ago, it means history as we know it, the story of our rise from simple tribes, is only half true. Around 11,600 years ago, something happened, something massive. Ice sheets melted, sea levels surged, and civilizations vanished overnight. Scientists call it the Younger Dryas event, a global cataclysm that wiped out countless species and reshaped continents. It's the same period Plato described as the fall of Atlantis. Across every culture, from Mesopotamia to India to the Americas, flood legends echo the same tale. A world drowned, a civilization lost, and survivors who rebuilt in its shadow. Maybe those survivors were the architects of Göbekli Tepe, the pyramids, or Stonehenge, scattered descendants of a world that once centered right here, in the eye of the Sahara. The idea that Atlantis could be real has long been ridiculed by mainstream science. Yet, more and more evidence points toward an ancient civilization far older than we thought possible. Archaeologists have discovered megalithic structures underwater, precision-cut stones in the Andes, and maps showing Antarctica without ice, suggesting advanced knowledge long before recorded history. So why are these connections ignored? Maybe because accepting them would unravel our timeline, forcing us to admit that humanity's rise wasn't a straight climb, but a circle, just like the eye of the Sahara itself.
Astronauts aboard the Gemini I-4 mission were the first to photograph the Richat Structure from orbit. They called it the bullseye of the Sahara. One said it looked almost constructed, too symmetrical, too perfect to be random. Even today, from the International Space Station, the eye is one of the most distinct features visible on Earth's surface. Some ancient astronaut theorists suggest that's exactly why it was built this way, as a signal to the heavens visible from above, marking the site of humanity's first lost empire. Whether by nature or by design, the eye still watches the sky, silent, patient, eternal. So what really lies beneath the sands of Mauritania? A geological wonder? A meteor's scar? Or the ruins of a civilization that mastered the stars long before Egypt raised its pyramids? Every myth begins as memory, every legend, a shadow of truth. Perhaps the eye of the Sahara isn't just a coincidence of erosion, but a warning left by those who came before us. A reminder that no matter how great we become, the earth remembers, and it always reclaims. Until someone digs deep enough, the truth remains buried. But one day, when the sand shifts again, maybe the eye will open, and the world will finally see what was lost to time.